Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this really cute strawberry crochet bandana made up of granny squares. This is a super beginner friendly project and the best project for summer. So let's just get into it. Okay, so for this project I'm going to be using double knit acrylic yarn, and I've got a baby pink colour for the main square, and then I've got for my strawberry colour this kind of deeper pink, and I've got roughly about 50 grams of each colour. I would definitely say for your main colour you need at least 50 grams, and then for the strawberries and the strawberry leaves you can really just get away with probably about 25 grams, so I definitely won't be using all of this colour. And then for the strawberry leaves I'm going to be using this double knit acrylic green colour, and then I'm going to be using a 2.5mm hook for this project, a sewing needle, a stitch marker and some scissors. Okay, so I'm going to be starting off with the triangles, and you're going to want to make 5 of these, and they are going to be stacked across the longest part of the bandana, or the part that is going to kind of go around the crown of your head, and then the triangular section of the bandana is going to come down. So we're going to make 5 triangular granny square type things, and then we're going to be making 10 strawberry granny squares, but I will get to that part later. So you're going to want to start off by making a slip knot, and you want to chain 3, like that, and then you want to slip stitch into the 3rd chain to create a ring, like that, and then we are going to be starting our granny square triangle type thing into the centre of this ring. So I'm going to start off with a chain 2, and I'm going to make 2 half double crochets into the ring. So now I'm going to do a chain 2 to create the chain space, and then I'm going to do 2 half double crochets into the ring. So that's 1, that's 2, and then I'm going to chain 2 again, and then I'm going to do another half double crochet into the ring, like that. So you should see how we've already got kind of a right angle triangle going on. And now we're going to start row 2, so I'm going to start off by chaining 2 and turning the work, so you just want to turn the triangle around. And we're going to do 2 half double crochets into this first chain space. That's 1, that's 2, and then we're going to chain 2. And we're going to do 3 half double crochets, a chain 2 and another 3 half double crochets into this second chain space that we've got, or the corner. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to chain 2 and do another 3 half double crochets into this corner. 1, 2 and 3. And then I'm going to chain 2 again, and I'm going to complete another 2 half double crochets into that chain 2 space that we did right at the beginning. So 2 half double crochets, and then I'm going to finish the row by doing a chain 2 and then just doing 1 half double crochet, like that. Okay, so we've got our second row of our granny triangle, and now we're going to do another row, so chain 2 and turn the work again, and I'm going to do 2 half double crochets into this first chain 2 space, like that, and then I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to do 3 half double crochets into this next chain space, 1, 2 and 3, and then I'm going to chain 2 again, and I'm going to do my corner cluster, so I'm going to do 3 half double crochets, a chain 2 and 3 half double crochets, chain 2, another 3 half double crochets, then I'm going to chain 2 again, do another 3 half double crochets into this next chain 2 space, and then finally I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to do 2 half double crochets into this final chain 2 space, and then I'm going to finish by chaining 2 and making 1 half double crochet into that same chain 2 space, like that. And then you just want to chain 1 and fasten off. And that is your granny triangle all complete. Now I'm going to be showing you how to do the strawberry. So we want to start off by making the strawberry, and then we're going to basically attach our second colour, which was the light pink, later on, and we're going to kind of build the granny square around that. So just start off with your strawberry colour and do the same thing, make a slip knot and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch into that third chain to make a ring. And then you want to separate that ring, and you're going to make 6 single crochets into the ring. So just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and last one 6. Okay, and then you can just pull on the tail to draw the hole in, and then you want to grab your stitch marker and place your stitch marker in that 6th single crochet that you just made, like there. And that's going to mark the end of the round. So for round 2 I'm going to do a sequence of 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets into the next stitch, which is also known as 1 single crochet increase. So I'm going into my next first stitch of the round. I'm going to loop this tail over just to weave it in and do my first single crochet. Okay, and then in the second stitch of the sequence I'm going to do 2 single crochets in that stitch, so 1 and 2, and now I'm just going to repeat that all the way around, so 1 in the first stitch and 2 in the second stitch, like that. And I'm just going to do that one more time so we reach the end of the round. 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 in the last stitch. You should now have 9 stitches in the round. Now this round, for round 3, we're going to kind of be building the strawberry shape. So for the first 2 stitches I'm just going to do 1 single crochet, so 1 in the first stitch and 1 in the second stitch, and then in the third stitch I'm going to do a single crochet and a half double crochet, like that. So you should have 2 stitches in 1 on that third stitch, and then I'm going to do 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, so 1 and 1, and then into the next stitch I'm going to do something slightly different. I'm going to do a double crochet, a chain 1 and a double crochet all in that same stitch. So just start with your double crochet, and then chain 1, and then make your second double crochet in that stitch. So you should have something like that. And then into the next 2 stitches I'm going to do 1 single crochet, and then in that final stitch I'm going to do a single crochet and a half double crochet in that same stitch, so single crochet and half double crochet, and then just replace the stitch marker in that last stitch. So just as a recap, you should have 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 in the second, in the third stitch a single crochet and a half double crochet, and then 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, and then to finish 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then in that last stitch 1 single crochet and a half double crochet. So after you've done your single crochet and half double crochet in the last stitch, you're then just going to want to slip stitch into the next stitch, and then fasten off, so just chain 1 and cut the yarn, like that. And so our new round is going to start where that slip stitch is. So I'll just remove the stitch marker, and we're now going to be grabbing the main colour for the granny square, so that light pink. So I'm going to insert my hook into the back loop only of that slip stitch that we just made, and I'm going to pull the slip knot through of the new colour, like that. And we're basically just going to be doing a quick border before we start the granny square, so I'm going to just start off by chaining 1, and this does not count as a stitch, and I'm going to be making 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches in the back loop. So I'm just going to start off by doing 1 single crochet, and then into the next back loop, 1 single crochet, and then into the next back loop, 1 single crochet, and then into the next back loop I'm going to be making 2 single crochets, or an increase, like that. So the sequence is going to go 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets, and I'm going to repeat that 2 more times. And then once you have completed your final increase stitch, you then just want to make a single crochet into the back loop of that final stitch, and then you just want to slip stitch back into that first single crochet that we made. And then after that you can just chain 1 and fasten off. Like that. Then grab your main colour again and make another slip knot. And we're going to be attaching the slip knot into the following stitch, so not where we just did the slip stitch, but the next one along, and pull your slip knot through. And we're going to be starting the granny square at this point, and we'll be doing a corner stitch first. So we'll be doing technically 3 half double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 half double crochets in the same stitch. So I'm going to start off my first half double crochet, but it is going to be a chain 2, which is going to count as 1. So chain 2, that counts as a half double crochet, and then I'm going to make 2 more half double crochets to create 3 in total. So 1 and 2. So technically got 3 in total, and then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do another 3 half double crochets, this time actually doing 3 half double crochets into the same stitch, like that. So you should have something like this, like a little corner, and then we're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, so that's that one right there. I'm going to skip that one, and into the next stitch I'm going to do 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm going to chain 1 again. I'm going to skip the next stitch, and then I'm going to do another corner stitch into the next one. So 3 half double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 half double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, and another 3 half double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, and I'm going to do 3 half double crochets into that next stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 again, and now I'm going to do my corner, so I'm going to skip the next stitch, and I'm going to do 3 half double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 half double crochets into the next into the same stitch. Like that. Once again, I'm going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, and I'm going to do 3 half double crochets into the next, like that. And then again, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and I'm going to do a corner cluster, so 3 half double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 half double crochets all in that same stitch. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch, and into the following stitch I'm going to do 3 half double crochets, 1, 2, and last one, 3. And then you just want to chain 1, and to complete the round we're going to be slip stitching into the top of that chain 2 that we made. So just grabbing that chain 2, or sorry, the second chain of the chain 2, and then making a slip stitch through there, and that is just going to complete the square like that. So this is what you should have, and the strawberry should kind of be facing upwards, and it should kind of look like a diamond like this. So I'm going to just chain 1 and fasten off, cut the yarn, and I'm just going to attach my colour again at a corner space, so any corner space. I'm just going to go for the next one along, so I'm just going to insert my hook into that chain 2 space and pull my slip knot through like that, and then I'm going to start off by chaining 2, and then I'm going to make a single crochet into the chain space, and that is going to technically count as 2 single crochets, and then I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to do another 2 single crochets into that space like that. Okay, so then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to skip this 3 half double crochet cluster, and into the next chain space we're going to be doing 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. I'm going to chain 1 again, skip the next cluster, and into the next chain space 2 single crochets like that, and then I'm going to chain 1 again, and I've hit the corner, so I'm now going to do my corner space, which is going to be 2 single crochets, a chain 2 and 2 single crochets, so 1, 2, chain 2, and then 2 single crochets, and then I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to go across to the next chain space, make 2 single crochets like that. I'm going to chain 1 again, skip the next cluster, go along to the next space and make 2 single crochets like that. Then I'm going to chain 1 again, and I've hit the corner, so I'm going to do my corner space, 2 single crochets, chain 2, and 2 single crochets again. Going to chain 1 again, skip the cluster, going into the next space with 2 single crochets, chain 1 again, skip the cluster, going into the next space and make 2 single crochets. And now I've hit my corner again, so I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do my corner cluster. So 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets like that, and then I'm going to go, and then I'm going to chain 1, skip the cluster, going into the next chain space with 2 single crochets, and then chain 1 again, skip the next cluster, going into the next chain space with 2 single crochets, and then chain 1 again, and you're just going to join now your chain 1 to that first chain 2 that we made right before that first corner space cluster. So just find the chain 2, insert your hook into the top of that chain 2, and make your slip stitch to finish the square like that. Okay, and then you just want to chain 1 and fasten off, and then that is your granny square section all complete. So this is what you should have, a nice kind of diamond, and you want to make sure that it is sitting this way, not like this, because then your strawberry is going to be tilted. And then with your green yarn, you're simply just going to want to sew a small strawberry leaf detail. So I just kind of made these lines going back and forth like this, and you're going to want to in total make 10 of these strawberry squares, and you'll want to make 5 of the triangles. Okay, so now you just want to attach your squares with the method of your choice. I decided to slip stitch mine, and you want to make sure that you are doing it at each seam in this arrangement. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I decided to slip stitch mine, but you could single crochet or you could even sew them. There's no rules, just do whatever feels comfortable. But I just really liked the seam edge that I got with the slip stitching. So yeah, I'm just going to do that now, and then I'm going to move on to the ties afterwards. Okay, so I've just done one side of the ties just because I wanted to see how many stitches I wanted to do. So I wanted my tie to be about 14 inches long, so I did roughly about 71 chains. So you basically just want to attach a slip knot with your main colour, or a different colour if you want to switch it up, at the corner of the triangle, so the longest kind of part of the triangle. I want to push my hook into kind of just the top kind of corner stitch. It does not need to be exact at all. So I'm going to be attaching my yarn through this kind of corner stitch. I'll make a chain of 71 roughly, and then I'm going to slip stitch down the chain, and once I get back down to this area here, I'm going to slip stitch back into the following stitch right next to the one where I've just inserted my hook. So I'm going to pull my slip knot through like that, and then I'm just going to chain 71 roughly. Okay, so I've just got my chain. I'm just going to now flip the chain over so that I'm going to be inserting my hook into these back bumps, so the bumps right behind each chain. So I'm finding that second chain from the hook, and I'm just going to flip the chain over, and I'm going to find that bump right behind the chain, right there, and I'm just going to make my slip stitch. And you don't have to do it in the back bump, but I just prefer the way this looks. If you want to do it in just the normal chain, then it won't really make much of a difference. And now I'm just going to slip stitch into each back bump all the way down. So in total I'm going to have 71 slip stitches going down because I did an extra chain for the turning chain. And then when I get to the beginning, I'm then just going to make one more slip stitch into the following stitch on that corner of the triangle, so right next to it over here, and then I'll just chain one and fasten off and then weave in any ends. And once you've done that, you have completed the bandana. And that is everything for this tutorial. I hope you guys all enjoyed making your strawberry bandanas, and if you have any ideas of what you'd like me to make next, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.